Record this one.
On computer?
There we are. Welcome everyone to this. How many is this one? The fourth one.
The fourth one.
Heavens above. What a great call we've got for you today, because what we thought we would do, everyone, is actually recap, go over and review everything that we've talked about so far, and in particular, address some of the questions that have been coming through. And there have been a lot of questions coming through. Very, very cool questions.
Love the questions. Been good. Going to create so many more possibilities that we can address today. But I think the first we want to start off with is to have a look at the last 3 weeks that we were playing together. The first question is, have you truly been taking 100% responsibility for your own life and your own reality? Have you really truly making commitment to your life? If you haven't, what need to change? What can you be and do different to create different possibilities here? I think we're not going to ask you all to put your hand up to see who has done or not done. You know within yourself that if you haven't done it, the question that you would required to ask yourself if you choose is, so what am I resisting being here? That if I could choose to totally be it, would totally change my reality and create something amazing beyond what I could ever imagine. Because if you haven't started to create something beyond what you could ever imagine, or something even slightly better than what you have been creating up to now, you have not been willing to be. So what are you refusing to be? That if you stop refusing, could totally create different possibilities for you. If nothing changed in your life, the first things need to change. I wonder who can tell us what needs to be different here if things stuck and not changing. Let's have a conversation. We love to talk to you guys now. So what needs to change if things stuck and not working? What needs to be and do different in your reality and in your life? What choice do you need to make right here and right now? What commitment do you have to be right now?
If things are turning up differently than what you've expected, then what do you need to be and do right now, Maureen?
What I would invite you to be is, what can you be and do different right here, right now? Would you be willing to make a commitment now, not after the call, right this moment?
Oh, she's on
fire. Would you be willing to ask yourself, who could I be? What could I be that I'm not willing to be now, and destroy and uncreate everything that you would not allow yourself to be that? Because at the end, we have to be willing to choose to be that, because a lot of time people pop and pot and all those, but they're not choosing. Most of the time when you see people that come in and say, oh, I have used all the tools, I have asked all the tools, I use all the tools, I make a request from the universe, but nothing changed. When you are in that space, have you made a request into the universe, but have you made the demand of yourself? Because you can request the universe, but if you have not made a demand of yourself that you're going to create and generate something totally different, you are not taking 100% responsibility for your own life. You are giving it over to the new universe to make it happen. And universe require you to take 100% responsibility for your own life first, so that it can simultaneously working with you to create different possibilities with you. But to say, you do it, I just want you to create magic and allow it to happen. It will, but it's going to take a lot longer. And most of us don't have enough patience to wait for the universe. Universe have a lot of people to help. So you're not the only one that universe will requesting different possibilities from the universe. So first, would you be willing to make a demand of yourself that right here, right now, no matter what it look like, I have no idea what's going to look like when I'm taking 100% responsibility for my life. I have no, in this 10 seconds, I don't even know what it would look like or what it feels like, because I feel so stuck. I'm so stuck right now that I don't even see any lights, let alone at the end of the tunnel. I don't even see any lights around me.
What tunnel?
So basically, there's no tunnels at the moment. There's just such a darkness around. So when you're in that space, that's such a darkness around, and even the sky is not even blue, would you be willing to actually stop? How often we are so blessed to have the tools of access, which is so amazing, and we use it and we be it all the time. We are so lucky, so blessed to have that. But how often do we see a people safe to say that I ask the question, I use the tools, but how often are you actually being those tools? So we want to open the conversation today to ask you, you could be using it and asking it, how often are you being it? Ask yourself here, how often are you being those tools? For example, if you get up every morning and say, all of life come to me with ease, joy, and glory. All of life come to me with ease, joy, and glory. To actually be all of life come to me with ease, joy, and glory.
You mean not just
and
words?
Be that energy of life, all of life come to me with ease, joy, and glory. It's totally different energy. So if you're going to use the tool, be the tool. Stop using the tool and be the tool. So when you say, all of life comes to me with ease, joys, and glory, totally be that. How often any of us, we are all so busy being busy in our own life, trying to fix the thing that we call broken. What if it's not broken? How often we not actually sit back, take in a breath and say, wow, all of a projection, expectation, and judgment that my life is in upheaval. What if that's not true? What lie am I using here? Can I just finish this? What lies am I using here to convince myself that I am broken? Everything's broken. When you are in that space, you couldn't even see possibilities. So I would recommend that when you feel that everything's stuck, everything, that's no possibility, take a breath and say, how lucky I am to be me today. I mean, all of us on this call, we are in the lucky space than 80% of the people on this world. No matter how bad your life looks, there are so much more that it's not even 1/10 of how we are creating our lives. So if we could even just take a breath and say, how lucky am I to be me? How lucky I am to actually be and have everything I can play with now and the tools that I can use to change all of the things that I think is the problem. See?
So one of the things you might want to consider, one of the things Chitisa and I have recognized probably in the last few months is that she is amazing at tapping into the energy of things. I tend to be a little bit more contextual just because of whatever it might be. And so she's inviting me to look at the energy of things more. One of the contextual things that you might want to consider is, and this is what works for me, and it may just help some of you out there, is that be willing to change your point of view on anything. Everything that Chitisa said starts from the point of view that you've taken on it. So be willing to change your point of view. And the thing in this is not to a better point of view. Just change it. If you're feeling stuck, then have a point of view that you're not stuck. What else is possible? But if you keep coming back to saying, but I am stuck, well, then change your point of view on that. And if you feel that your business is not going anywhere, then change your point of view about what you think your business is. Change your point of view about where you think it should go. Change your point. And it doesn't matter what you change it to. There's no right, I'm going to change my point of view to get the right one. It's just the very act of changing is what the universe is looking for as a glimmer of light that they can come in and help you. So look at every time you have a point of view that you feel is a point of view that is so real and so true, look at changing it. And it doesn't matter changing it to what, just change it.
Well, that's come to the second week that we were addressing the topic of the way you see the world. That is such a simple sentence, but it's so powerful and so potent that what would it take for all of us to actually see the potency of that sentence, the way you see the world? The way you actually see the world and the way you see your role in this world is the way that you are creating your life and your reality. Are you willing to see that, to perceive that? And if your life and your reality is not exactly you wish you or you desire to have, start looking at the way you see the world. Start asking, what am I seeing here that creates all of this in my life? What if there are such infinite possibilities that I'm not willing to be, to have, to create and generate? Again, come back to connect the 2 weeks is the way you see the world and the way you are not willing to commit to your life. If you see the world as scarcity, lack, not enough, everyone else took it, so nothing left for me. That is space of scarcity. If you look at, wow, all these people can create and generate and have amazing life, it's okay for them because they are a lucky one. They are lucky ones. And obviously they took everything, nothing left for me. In that space that you think that, become aware that you already jumped right into the deep end of scarcity pond. And if you can't swim in that deep end of scarcity pond, you are drowning. So try to not jump in so deep and start pulling yourself up for that deep end and say, wow, I am allowing myself to totally absorb into scarcity. What can I be and do different here to change, to create different possibility for me right here and right now? There are a lot of wonderful questions that we would like to address, but we just put that way of being that you could choose to be right now by connecting. Take 100% responsibility for your life. Make a commitment to your life, and be aware of the way you see the world. Because the way you see the world, you are responsible for the way you see the world. No one else does.
So there's some questions that are coming through on here. So we'll just quickly address them and then we'll come back to some of the others.
Yeah, we have 3 pages of questions sitting in front of us.
This is all your stuff, folks.
Here, and one more.
We actually do read them. Sorry, we actually read them. There's been some good ones coming through. You know, what do you do when, for example, one of them is, what do you do when people around you function from scarcity? Or Bettina said, if your assistants function from scarcity, your staff. One of the things always with that is Chitissa's about to tell us.
So would someone like to talk to us? Hey, come on, you guys. Patricia, I love what you just said about how you look at on the app. You said how you actually change all the horrible and yucky things that happen to you in terms of somebody stole your identity. And you're looking from the space of possibilities and everything change. I'm so grateful for that. What you shared, observation, because that's exactly what we were talking about. That there's no problem. Every single things that get created, it's get created for you to claim on the power, the potency that you truly are, for you to see that you can be greater than your problem. And when we said the things that get created in our reality, what if we created that in our reality? If we claim the power that we created that, then we can actually change everything. And sometimes we create that into our reality so that we have to prove to ourselves that we have the power and potency to change it, to create different possibilities. What if we don't have to prove to ourselves? What if we don't have to create crap to prove that we have the power, potency to actually create different possibilities? What if we can just claim on and acknowledge that power and potency straight away? How amazing would that be? We just went and do the COP in Melbourne with Brendan and Simone, who's doing it. And one new clearing that they were running that I love so much that it's now become the tools that I run every day for me, is being the miracle of creation through being. It's just beyond just, I have to prove to myself that I have the power and potency. I'm just being that tool of choosing to be the miracle of creation through being. Can you perceive that energy? What would it be like if people stop proving to themselves that I have to prove to myself that I have the power to create different possibilities, to just embody and be the miracle of creation through being, just here and now?
It's pretty powerful.
Question, do you want to address questions since no one putting their hand up to speak?
You can unmute yourself.
Yes.
Although with some of you, I'm not sure.
You could unmute yourself and ask questions. If not, we just address those questions that we got in there.
Bettina, your question, what if your assistants function from scarcity? What do you do? Exactly what Chutisa was saying there. What can you do and be that would actually create something different? And what if that person who's functioning from scarcity is just some fun for you to play with, to actually practice the miracle of the creation of being?
Bettina, we are blessed to have these tools to allow us to be the catalyst for change and for different possibilities. So if you're willing to be the true catalyst for different possibilities in your business, in your life, and in the world, that means, are you willing to be the catalyst for different possibilities for your assistants as well? Because one thing we know for sure, that we can't force people to change. We can't force people to choose something totally different. But we can truly be the catalyst for people to be and to do something different without expectation, projection, and judgment that there will change. But what would it be like if we go through our day and our life looking for what we could change instead of looking for the result or the things that we can create, of looking what we could change? And that has been one of my my priorities in my life and in my business, is to be a catalyst for change. We're doing our life and our business not because the outcome of getting the money, but to be the catalyst for different possibilities in the world. And the money just comes. So, who was it?
Can I ask a question about this?
Yep.
Who's that?
It's Kalpana.
Who's that?
You're not speaking French today.
Non, pas aujourd'hui. Thank you for that wonderful conversation. Well, so what you were saying about, great question, Bettina, with people working from scarcity while you do you not, I mean, I know there's no formula answer because it's always asking a question, but I have the same with my manager, that I realize now more and more that she always goes to taking away instead of adding, right? Like, I want somebody to be added, then she's like, well, then you have to take out something. Is it about also having a conversation, or is it purely from being?
First, you have to be the energy of different possibilities for them. Because
Yeah.
when you are choosing to be the catalyst for change, yes, you will use all those tools and all those questions when you are working and in communication with them from the space of no judgment. But first, if you can be the catalyst for different energy and different possibilities, you create different space to actually be with those people. For example, in I think I will even talk to you before, Kalpana, about the book Conscious Leadership that we wrote, and we wrote about when you are being conscious leader, you are being a catalyst for different possibilities, that you create the harmonic coherence in yourself, that you could create the different energy with the organization in your life and your business. If you can be, we call that book Conscious Leadership, but it just applies to everything. Whether you are a mother with a lot of children, or whether you're a wife with a husband who's choose to be anti-conscious, whether you are you're a teacher with a whole school full of staff and kids who are anti-conscious, is choose to be a catalyst within yourself, that you become the harmonic coherence. Do you want, have we talked to you about this? No. Do you want us to actually say what we mean by being a harmonic?
Okay, everyone, nod your head if you want us to talk about harmonic coherence.
Please talk. Can you speak more about harmonic coherence, guys?
Well, thank you for asking. Harmonic coherence is something that goes back to many centuries. It's been around, well, forever, ever since there's been energy. And what it does is shows you that an energy that is, for want of a better word, a stronger energy, will actually enable other energies to cohere with it, to actually align itself with that energy.
Oh, you would love this, Kalpana, the one who started off with this experiment and thing. Is a Dutch scientist,
Hans Huygens. Probably from Amsterdam.
Who made this famous. This thing became just the sauce.
So where all this stuff, it's fascinating, some of the history stuff. I love reading some of the history on this. So what happened is Hans Huygens, who was a clockmaker and a scientist in his own right, observed that when he filled up a large room with a whole lot of grandfather clocks and started all their pendulums swinging, they were all swinging at different rates, at different frequencies.
And he's constantly, he actually put them in different rooms in the building, not just in one room together. So that's proof again that if you're such a strong vibration frequency, you don't just affect the thing just around you. So he had this one huge grandfather clock that sits in one room, and then other little clocks sitting all over
the house, really. Within about 24 hours, all of the pendulums were swinging with the same frequency that matched the largest grandfather clock.
And even if you went and changed the way the pendulums swing, so they all went in different, vibration and frequency, but before long, the pendulum of other clock will swing to the same vibration and frequency of the greatest grandfather clock. So what his hypothesis came to the fact that the strongest, the more potent and powerful frequency can entrain everything and everyone around you to be that same frequency. And from that, 1690 or something, there's so many more scientists just try to prove him wrong, but they all prove that it is the truth. So that's quantum entanglement started to come in. Quantum physics.
It was the start of music theory. That's where that they pinpoint that as the start of music theory and harmonics. They've also pinpointed that as the start of some of the more esoteric mathematical branches that are around. But just knowing, and you've all heard this, the very fact of observing something changes it.
Yeah.
This is harmonic coherence. So damn it, why don't we all be that big grandfather clock?
So it's actually like if you look at people working for you, are you willing to be that dominant energy that just takes everybody along to a higher energy and
I would use the word potent
rather than dominant.
Potent and dominance, because dominance have different vibration again. Dominance feel very control, force, and effort.
And same thing with the word strong. It's not the strongest, it's not the dominant. No. It's that frequency that everything else attunes itself to. It's nothing to do with how big you are, except how big you're willing to be in this universe.
And when we talk about that, Kalpana, that when we are being the potent and powerful frequency that will entrain everything to be in different possibility and energy. It's not just about people that we entrain, that too, because as we hear all the time that everything has consciousness. So we can entrain our business, we can entrain our staff, we can entrain our clients and everything within, around us to be the energy, space, and consciousness that we are choosing to be. Even the reindeer, Eva.
Can I throw in a question here? Because I really feel like I am the potent energy in our relationship, in our work, but still I always feel like I'm in the background. I always push my husband and now my son to the front. And my husband has a brilliant business mind. Talking about debts last time, he always thinks, how to make money, and
he's got great taste too.
Just stop you one moment there before you ask anymore. The first 10 seconds you ask, I am always be in the background. I always push my husband and my son to be the forefront. Okay. You already claiming that you have done all of that. So if you want something different, what you need to be and what do you need to be and do different here? I mean, just those two words already reveal that you have created for them to be the forefront. You have created them to be the face of your business. And is that working for you?
Not really. It does work because he supports me. All the money comes through him, so I don't even have to work if I don't want to. But I feel like it would be nice during this lifetime to step out in the world as me.
Awesome.
But then I don't know what to do.
Eva, before all of that, so are you willing to be and do and choose something totally different? Are you truly want to be out there in the world, to be in the forefront without diminish your husband and your son? Yes or no?
Yes, fuck it.
We love you, Eva.
So are you totally in or half in? Half leg in, half leg?
I'm 2/3 in.
No, are you 100% in or out? You can't be 2/3 in. The ship will take over.
No, I'm in. Yes. No, okay. I'm in.
Okay.
It scares me. I mean, whatever. I'm in now. Okay, I choose
so everything that would not allow you to be that, to have that, to create that, to choose that in every single moment of your day from now on. Would you be willing to destroy and uncreate all of that, please?
Yes. Yes.
Right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And the most important thing, all of the decision, projection, expectation, assumption, conclusion, judgment, all of the things that going through your head right now, they say that, oh, it's really not possible. It's going to be so hard, and I have to be something that's so different that I don't even know how to be. All of those, I can't, not possible. Are you willing to revoke, recant, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, and destroy and uncreate all of that, please?
Yes.
Right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Eva, you have made a commitment now. Are you willing to really not go back on your commitment?
Yes.
I
am.
Okay.
I am. Okay.
Everything that is everything that is that allow you to go, oh yes. Everything that is that stopping you to go, oh yes, I'm so excited, I'm ready. Would you be willing to destroy and create all of that, please?
Yes.
Right or wrong, good or bad, talk and pot, or nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Eva, you know what? I could just sit here and clear you for the next hour. But unless you truly actually step in and choose it for yourself,
I realize
it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So from this moment, keep clearing, keep running the process, keep taking yourself out of scarcity and choose. The key thing is choose. I'm choosing right now. I'm choosing to be. You know what? The thing that I have been talking about it probably in every session everywhere in the world is that if you want something to change, to be different in your life right now, it's not a how to be it and how to do it. It's the willingness to be greater than what you have been willing to be before. And Eva, when you were saying that you've been allowing your husband to be to the forefront and you not, what you have to be and do different to allow you to be greater than what you have been willing to be before. So from this moment forward, you have to be willing to say, I am willing to be greater than what I have been willing to be before. And I'm not talking about large before. If you are willing to be greater than what you have been willing to be 15 minutes ago before we actually get on this call, that's all I'm asking you to do. Willing to be greater than what you have been willing to be when you woke up this morning. Willing to be greater than what you have been willing to be before you even ask us this question. Can you perceive that energy? Can you feel that energy?
Yeah.
Just choose to continue being that and be in that energy. And then we can talk further about what else you can create and generate in your life once you start being in that energy, because infinite possibilities available to you right now.
Now, for those of you who have decided you're the opposite of that, where your husband's in behind and you're the one in front, exactly the same conversation, no different, right? Are you willing to be greater than you have been before? And whatever that looks like. So I've seen a few comments come through where people are saying, well, I'm the opposite because, well, no, you're not the opposite. You just got to, change that point of view as well too. What if you were to listen to what Yetissa was saying, no matter what the situation is?
What if there's no opposite? What if you create a space that each and every one of partnership become a contribution to each other? Whether your partner choose to be that or not, you still can be this energy, space, and consciousness that you are the contribution that they can't help. Whether if they don't choose to be in the allowance of them not choosing to be. Like I was like Eva for many years, that allowed Steve to be the face of the conscious governance.
I love an audience.
The face of the two Bowman. He loves the audience, and I'm happy to be just with me, just for me, just for fun. So it's never a problem for me. But I realized that would I create more, generate more? And if I truly made a choice to be a catalyst for change, I have to be willing to be greater than what I have been willing to be before, which means I have to be willing to actually go out there and be the face as well, and willing to claim the power and potency to take care of my own personal finance and become a chief financial officer of my own life. That will be the next story, not a next call on the next 8-9 calls, because there's so many more in that. And that would be great for all the ladies who have not been choosing to claim on and acknowledge that the power that they can be the chief financial officer in your own life.
Without diminishing anyone else, which is the other part of it.
Can I ask a question?
When we were speaking, I just realized that I haven't, by being this, I haven't allowed him to have my back. I've always had his back. And I just realized how ready he is to have my back in everything. And I've been like complaining to him that I always have your back when I go into drama. Why don't you have mine? But I haven't allowed him because I haven't given him anything to have my back in.
You haven't given him a space to have your back.
No.
And now just see what could you be and do different then. And you said before that he always bring a lot of money in and generate money, and you're happy with that. What would it take for him to keep generate the money still and many more, double and triple? And then you become a chief financial officer and of your own life and business, and keep growing double and making those money grow and be more.
You make money have babies.
What would you like if you claim that capacity to take everything that he generate and create and invite them to be more?
Yeah. Wow.
Get to work, Eva.
I'll get to work. I'll let someone else in now.
Tracy.
Hey,
Tracy.
oh my God, this is so exciting. Okay, big awareness. So I'm very aware of what being me is about, just, barriers down, everything, and just being such an amazing presence. And I've been stepping into more of that. And when I'm away from my family, I can do it with ease. And then I realized that I needed to step back into my family and be able to do that in my family as well, and claim it and just be me. And so in situations with my kids and my hubby and stuff like that, every time they come up with something, I hear what they have to say. And I say something, and my son yesterday in the car said to me, "Mum, you've just got to stop this." And I said, "Well, what have I got to stop?" And he said, "Being positive all the time, just all this being positive stuff." And I said, "Well, what do you mean by being positive?" "Well, you can't fix everything. Everything's not." And I said, "I'm not trying to fix everything. I'm just showing you a different possibility, a different way of being or approaching this." Anyway, what I realized is that in this moment, he was telling me, so you can't use the word choice and interesting point of view and judgment, and he started listing off all of the supposed access words I use. And Dad doesn't like the access words, Mum, so you've got to stop using them. And I just went, wow. And in that, it's like am I willing to be me and do that, and for what I might lose or what might not be there anymore. And I know it's the willingness to lose everything.
Hey, Tracy, first, could you acknowledge the fact that for your son to be able to say all those words back to you, how much catalyst have you already been in his life?
That's wicked.
People didn't receive it.
Oh,
they
yeah.
know what those things are. So first, acknowledge that he might come at you with that judgment at the moment. But if he could not say a thing back, they wouldn't have received. So first, just see the possibilities in that he already being able to say, choice, rubbish. He sounds like an amazing person.
He's already got a lot of this.
Now,
he wants to make a difference in the world. You know what I'm going to do, Mum? I am going to be a famous actor, so people will listen to me, and I'm going to change the world and bring everyone united together, and they're going to listen to me.
Just acknowledge that how amazing he is already. For him to be able to say all those things to you about those access tools and things, he's already received it, but he refuses it.
He knows about choice. He knows about choice, but doesn't like it. He knows about possibility, but doesn't like it. So he's already 99% ahead of everyone else who don't even know it's possible.
He knows about all those tools. He hears those tools. He refused to be and receive those tools because in this 10 seconds, this reality is so valuable and important to him. And it's almost like you're trying to force him to be more than he is willing to be at the moment.
Yeah.
what an amazing boy to come to you
Yeah.
and say this to you.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to claim on and acknowledge that you have an amazing son who already being conscious, but not
Yeah.
willing to that, but totally refusing to be all of that? Will you be willing to be in the allowance for him to choose when he's ready to choose and when he's willing to choose? And Tracy, this is one for you. Would you be willing to be the tools instead of using the tools at people?
Ha. Yes.
Would you be willing to
Thank
be
you.
all of life come to me with its joys and glory?
Oh, I say that 20 times a day. Yeah.
Would you be willing now? Just for today, don't say those tools to anyone, but every single tools that you got just about to say to your son, to say to your husband, to say to anyone, just be it in yourself and be the harmonic coherence that will entrain them. And if you stop saying all of those that and be the tool, and then just what would it be like if your son start to say, oh, what's going on? Why are those choices? Where are those possibilities? Where are those point of view? Use it to manipulate them. To ask for more. Because at the moment, you're using the tools to try to make them be more conscious.
Yeah.
What if you are just being the tools as the way to manipulate them to say, please give me some more, make them yearn for it. At the moment, you give too much to them. Make them yearn for it, because particularly your son.
He's cool. I like
he
him.
will not
very
be
cool.
able to actually say any of those words if he hasn't heard everything you have. In this 10 seconds, ask yourself, is he ready to actually choose all that yet? Yes, no?
Yes and no, because I actually hear him talk to his friends. And
this is what will happen.
And what he does, and I go,
But not if the mother, I'm in the sense.
Oh yeah.
What if his mother trying to tell him to be more? He would just have to react. Whether it's to do with it doesn't even have to do with consciousness.
Yeah.
As a mother, I know that if I'm trying to tell my daughter to do anything, and we are in business together, she will have to react. But if you go from the space of, it's you don't even have to say it's your choice, but whatever you choose.
Just yesterday, it was like you were listening in the conversation that Chitissa and our daughter were having yesterday. It's almost exactly the same conversation. Different topic, same conversation.
The topic of theirs.
Come on, Mum, you can't say that. That's not the right way to say things, she says. Now, we know that she's going to go out and her universe has changed anyway.
Yeah, her topic at the moment that her mother's weird and talking about death is a choice.
Death is a choice. You can't say that. That's not right.
You can't say that. I want you to talk to my friend. I'm so scared that you're going to say that. But she's totally received it.
It just made me laugh. It made me think of the situation my daughter was in maths class, and I work at the tuck shop one day a week just for fun. And they were all sitting on a ledge, and I'm sitting over there and I'm looking over, and the maths teacher's creating this really great way of showing them to do something, and I'm going, oh, they're having fun, and I'm in my total beingness. And some of her friends love me, and they, oh, there's your mum. Mum's in tuck shop today, so they start waving to me. I'm going, and I'm standing over there waving to them, hi. And Katie's like, oh.
Yeah, she's your kid. Of course she'll do that.
That's what they do.
Don't encourage her. They're telling her, she's telling the friends not to encourage me because I'm too encourageable and I'm too out there. And she was
So just coming back to your question about, so you're using the tools and people refusing to have your tools. So be the tools.
Yeah.
Just start now. Just be the tools. Don't use the tool at people or for people, and be the tools to be the catalyst for different possibilities. This is a cool thing is, what would it be like if you're going through your days looking for what you could change with your energy that you could be, instead of looking for what can receive you.
Oh, I love that.
Look for who or what can receive what you can give to them, to give to them. What would it be like if you turn that and say, going through your life and your day, being the energy and looking for how you can be the change instead of who can receive what you have to give.
Being the
Totally
change for
different.
possibility, being the change for possibility, not the force for result.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that.
Energy, space, and consciousness that you are being. And everywhere that you go into projection, expectation, judgment, and conclusion of what the result's supposed to be by being that. Would you please destroy and uncreate it, please? Right or wrong, good or bad, talk and
Yes.
nine shorts, boys and beyonds. When we talk to people about what would it be like if you go through your days, be looking for what you can change from the energy that you are being, instead of who can receive you, who can receive what you have to give. People immediately go into projection, expectation, and judgment and conclusion about what that would look like. It doesn't look anything like what you think. Anything that you think, it's not that. So everywhere that you have projection, expectation, judgment, and conclusion about what the result's going to look like when you go around being a catalyst for change, it's nothing. As soon as you think that's supposed to look, just say that's not it. It's just not that.
Whatever you think it is, it's
not it. So destroy and uncreate all projection, expectation, and judgment.
And the key thing with that is have that on a loop. Oh, I think it's that, it's not. 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 Just keep going with that, because it's not.
Awesome.
So shall we have some of these 3 pages of questions? So if you
thank you.
Find some.
Okay. So one of the other things is we're having some people write in saying, look, I can do all of this, and all of a sudden shit happens and my world comes crashing in on me and my brain gets all strange and weird on me. In all of that, they are all, and you know, it feels very real to you when it's happening at the time. Don't forget, they're all just points of view. They're all just points of view. It's not about, you know, having the right point of view. It's just being that energy of possibility. If you're willing to tap into that energy of possibility, all this shit happens around you. It's how you choose to be with it.
If the shit happen, it's just a point of view. It could be some possibilities in disguise. But if you're too busy judging it as shit and you couldn't see that it could have anything, then it's just a pile of shit. But if you have the point of view that it is, what possibilities in this that I'm not willing to receive and what willing to see.
It's not about being positive. It's about being the question. Positive does not mean question.
Exactly. What have I created here would be the first question. If things happen if things are all wonderful and something should happen, the first thing I would always say, what have I created here? Who am I being here that creating this? Because a lot of time when problems happen, because we work with thousands and thousands of people out there, the great unwashed, of course they're going to create a weak, pale, and interesting that they're trying to impose onto our business and our life as well. And we would always say, okay, what have we been being to create that? And once we claim that, then we can change it. Because we know that we don't see problem, we see possibilities in every single so-called problem. And we start saying, how did I create this? How did I create this is the first thing to allow us to claim the responsibility that we have, obviously be in the space that allow this to get created. So then we go into, okay, so what needs to change here? Is there anything we can change here? Is there anything we can be and do different to change all of that? What can I be and do different to change all of these things with total ease? I mean, when you're talking about shit happen, if you actually want to really know how things that beyond your control can happen to you while you're asleep, get into stock market trading, get into option trading, because one moment you go to bed, if you're in Australia and you play with New York Stock Exchange with, naked put option, and you go in with your whole account looking rosy and wonderful and big, and you were happy.
Light, delight, and very green.
and you went to sleep and something happened in New York for the 8 hours that you were asleep. You woke up with the phone call, with the thing, and saying that
you have to find $200,000 in the next 2 hours.
You have to find $200,000 now to cover your margin call. Otherwise, we shut all the things down. You could see that shit happen, or you could see, wow, what do I need to be and do different here now? What do I need to put in place? What can I do right now? Because it is the here and the now. Stock market, margin call waits for no one. When it actually say, I need to see 200,000 in the margin call, and how the margin call happen is, they have the right to actually move the margin from 20% margin. When the volatility is so high in US, they can move from 20% margin cover to 60% just like that in overnight.
They did.
And when you live in Australia, you're not awake overnight to know that something you could put in place. So that's a space you have to go, okay, what do I need to be and do different now to actually be and create and generate in that space to make everything, change quickly. And you have to do that if you want to play big. If you see a little tiny pile of shit as a problem,
someone says something nasty to you. I mean, really?
Yeah, then you're not going to be. If you're not going to be able to be the catalyst for different possibilities, if you allow the tiny little mundane things around you to affect you, then you wouldn't be able to have.
It's not big enough to be shit, but you make it into something that's.
It's probably just a pile of dirt.
Yeah. Hasn't made it to shit
that
yet.
It's not even an issue, but. Like the saying that people make molehills.
Mountains out of molehills.
It's true.
Or they make shit out of just little bits of dirt.
That people are so good at invention. We are so good at inventing and creating. What would it be like if we use our energy of invention to really, truly create and generate? I mean, first acknowledge to yourself, oh my God, I am so powerful and potent and creating this invention to create this shit. If I can use this power and potency to create something greater and create greater possibility, how much more can you create and generate in the world? Same power, same potency, but change what you are choosing to create. So basically, like that, if you actually want to test your power and potency, go and play big in the New York Stock Exchange to see whether
it tests your allowance, it tests you being in the question, it tests all of that stuff, and it's got some money attached to it.
Because you are playing with the world of you have no control over that choice that they're making.
So the question I've got for everyone, what is the equivalent in your life of the New York Stock Exchange? What if you were willing to play in that? What if you were willing to be the question in that? What if you were willing to look at everything is a possibility, nothing is a problem, unless I've decided that it's a problem, and then I will create everything to make sure that little piece of dirt becomes the biggest problem, that I refuse to see anything else that's possible.
And that space that you play in, let's say you made the choice to really prove your power and potency in the New York Stock Exchange and start doing naked put and thing. You know that you have no control over anything and everyone. You only have a control over your awareness and your choice. If you want to do that, that's the space where you totally amplify your awareness, amplify your capacity to be and to choose to be that, because you have no control over how.
The whole market is a market of idiots with scarcity points of view, which is pretty much describing most of the world.
And everyone coming from greed, from fear at the moment. And the greed and the fear, even everything opposite to what it appears to be and nothing opposite to what it appears to be, because people function from greed and fear because of
scarcity.
And because the stock market's gone crashing because of
scarcity.
No, because of the America.
The stock market. Do you know why the stock market crashed about 5 days ago? Because the American economy was doing so well that people could no longer get cheap money. Huh? Go figure. So anyway, hope you've had a bit of fun with this one. Everything we've said is related to both relationship and business, which is also relationship and business, which is also business and relationship.
Okay, next question. So have we addressed about the business?
Let's have a look. Okay, now this comes up a few times. Okay, when we were talking about adding to our life, a number of people have written in and said, I feel blocked about it. I feel that I'm so confused already, or I've got too much on, and if I add something to my life, then something's going to happen. What energy and what question can I be that would enable me to experience this with ease and no point of view?
That's exact
That's
question.
the question. See, every time you write, what question can I ask to be this? You've already asked the bloody question.
So now be that question. You already asked the question, and I'm so grateful that you are in the space that you could even ask the question. You're in the space that you could even frame the question to ask. So now it's a space that you have to be that. What generative energy, space, consciousness can you and your body be that allow you to create ease, joy, and glory in your life, with your business, with your partner, and with everything? It's at the end, it's just stepping in to be, making the choice to be greater than what you have been willing to be before. It's that.
One of the great tools you can use, I'm just reading some of the questions here. One of them said, when I add to my life, I feel overloaded. Well, the question then will be, well, what if it wasn't overloaded? What if it was something different? This is the question you ask yourself. What if that was the opposite of what I'd already decided it should be? And it doesn't matter that you give it a name. It's just opposite, different.
We hear this word overwhelm and overload so much in the last 3 days.
I'm overwhelmed by the number of overwhelmed words that are coming at us.
We did a masterclass in Melbourne 2 days ago. Or yesterday.
I think it was yesterday.
And the word overwhelms coming up so much that, wow, what invention are you, what are you inventing to make yourself feel overloaded and overwhelmed? Can an infinite being be that? As soon as you say, I am overwhelmed, please recognize that you are choosing to be a finite being. As soon as you hear yourself here, I'm blocked, I'm overloaded, I'm overwhelmed, I can't feel the energy, I don't know what, I can't. Take a breath and say, I am now choosing to be a finite being. So, okay, I don't want to be infinite being. I'm happy being a finite being. Damn it, don't force me to be an infinite being. In this 10 seconds, I'm choosing to be finite being, and I am happy with that. Don't judge yourself. And then next 10 seconds, well, I enjoy being a finite being. It's valuable. Why would I change if it's so valuable? Then you can ask yourself, what is so valuable here that I'm enjoy being a finite being? What's so valuable here that keep me choosing to be a finite being? Because it is your choice to be a finite being. So everywhere you start saying, I'm so overwhelmed. I have no choice. I feel so limited. I feel so...
Too much. Enough already. Go away. Too much.
I feel so... I can't be any greater than this. I can't be... The really key question you have here is, so what's so valuable for me in this 10 seconds to choose to be a finite being? How much fun am I having here to be a limited and finite being that I'm refusing and resisting changing? Because you must have fun. You must really like being a finite being. Otherwise, you not keep choosing to be it. Because the truth is, you are the infinite being. I mean, each and every one of us are infinite being. But if you're still choosing to play in this reality as a finite being, please ask yourself, what is it that I am enjoying so much being a finite being that I'm not willing to change here?
Good questions.
Are you willing to see that how potent that question is? Because if you're willing to actually sit back and say, oh, I'm creating all these amazing problem, trauma, drama, weak, pale, and interesting, blockage, overwhelm, and all this from a space of a finite being. Because I'm enjoy being this finite and limited, and I'm not making commitment to create the life without limitation. I'm not going to judge myself. I'm just going to enjoy it. And I'm going to be in allowance of myself that one day when these enjoyments diminish, I'm going to choose to be an infinite being. Because it is my choice. And if you can look at the space that, oh, I can create this trauma, drama, and problem in my life so amazingly as a finite being. What can you be as an infinite being when you choose to be that? What else can you create in your life? Because you have the potency that you can create that super duper problem. When you claim, own, and acknowledge your potency to be the infinite being, what can you actually create? Be that energy now, just for that 5 seconds here, that, okay, I am choosing in finite being at the moment I'm creating this. So I'm just going to allow myself to breathe and be at. So if I, just for these 5 seconds, I don't want to choose it yet, but I'm just going to give myself the luxury of these 5 seconds to feel what it would be like when I choose it. Just feel, what would it be like if you truly choose to be infinite being and be the great, capacity that you truly be, what energy that's like. And then you can go back into the be a finite being again if that's what you choose.
She's on fire. You asked for it.
Let's address what else, other question.
Okay, so we've covered that. What questions? So whenever you ask yourself, what questions can I ask here? Because I'm seeing lots of questions that have come through about yada, 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 story, fluffy, more story, and then what question can I ask is exactly the question to ask.
There was one question that came in pretty early this morning about the business that that's not doing so well, and she or he might have to close down and have the job.
And have a job. That's just one here. Yeah.
Would you like to address that?
Okay. So the story here was that we've been trying to highlight our company for years. We can't seem to change it. In one way or another, the universe doesn't listen. Well, I'm sorry, It's listening.
This is question about business. But if your life and living is the business, if you see your life and your living is a business, the discussion, a conversation we're about to have here is also applied to you. So read the question again.
So I cannot be the right energy, as in the energy that will create the results I've already decided I wanted. So I'm just translating as we go along. So I can't be the right energy. We're busy with energy pools every day, asking questions and with other access tools.
Okay, just one bit, Pam. I'm doing energy pool every day and asking questions.
We are busy with energy pools.
Busy doing energy pool. The question for you, are you being the energy pool? Are you being the question that you are asking? What if you still doing whatever you are doing right there, but go from the space of, okay, I'm still doing all these things, but go from the just doing and using the tool to being the tool. Being the tools is important here.
Should we go on?
Yeah.
There's some good ones in here. Same question. So we probably block everything.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the next one.
You're correct. Because you are using the energy, you are using the tool and doing the tool, but not being the tool. So everywhere that you are doing the tool, using the tool from projection, expectation, judgment, and conclusion of the result that you should be getting from those tools, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate all of that? Right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds, because even doing the tools and using the tools, something still shift and change, even though you're not being the tools yet. You're not choosing to be the tools because something actually changed. But if you have a projection, expectation, and judgment about what the result to look like, you're not achieving that result. What if you create something totally beyond your result that you not create the space for you to see those other possibilities?
What if it was a different business? What if it was a business with someone else? What if you could actually then take on a part-time job that also enabled you to exponentialize your business at the same time?
Actually, the question, are you still having fun with this business?
Ooh.
Are you here? Would you like to talk to us?
I'm not sure I didn't write down who wrote it.
Hi. It's
Martin. Hi.
Martin, do you want to talk to us about that?
This is what you wrote is
It's
brilliant.
great, Martin.
What you wrote is absolutely
thank
brilliant.
you.
Gives us the stuff to look at.
Okay, can I ask you a question? Do you still like your business?
Now the creative thing in our business I do like, but the hard working to get opdrachten, projects, I don't like, because it's not funny to work so hard to get that projects.
Are all the funds gone out of doing this business?
Sorry?
Are all the fun and the joy has gone out of your life and your business?
Yeah. Yes.
So, like once you actually, all the fun and the joy has already gone, you already create that in everything.
Yeah, negative.
What would it take for you to bring back the fun and the joy of having business? Because you already made the conclusion and decision that it's not fun, it's not joy to have this business anymore. If you still sense that it has possibilities. So I would like to ask you, do you perceive that keeping this business, creating business, going to create greater possibilities in your life, in the world, for now and in the future? Do you get a yes or a no?
Yeah, I get a yes.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So there is still excitement there.
So I mean that yes still have that excitement. So ask yourself, if I'm working and keeping this business, are there possibilities that I could create and generate in my life and in my world and in the future? And if you get a strong yes, then destroy and uncreate of projection, expectation, and the most important thing, conclusion. The conclusion kills every other possibilities. So everywhere that you're starting to feel like, oh, it's not possible, this is not good, this is terrible, it's a conclusion. Conclusion probably doesn't belong to you, but you have accumulated it. So now is the time to constantly being the energy of destroying and create all of my DJCC, which is decision, judgment, and all of those, conclusion, computation, assumption. Destroy and create all of that first. Martin, what the thing is, I've seen a lot of people doing is they're using the tool, they ask the question, what else is possible here? What can I create here? But people ask the question to expect something to change, but if they have a lot of conclusion, projection, expectation, and judgment that it's not truly possible and everything is a problem and all of those still hanging around behind the new question that you are using, those questions will just create that for you. So before you even do the energy pool, before you even be the energy pool, before you even be the question, before you even be all those questions that will allow you to see different possibilities. I would invite you to start destroy and uncreate of your decision, judgment, conclusion, computation, assumption, everything that say not possible first, and then do and be the energy pool, then and use the question. But as long as you still have those limitation on conclusion and judgment in place, you're not going to allow yourself to see different possibilities with those questions that you are asking. Is that making sense, Martin?
Yes, it's making sense. Yeah.
And would you be willing?
But the question is how to be in the question. How can I feel the energy of it? I'm a little bit. I think I'm a little bit too scared or controlled or fixed.
Are you making a significant thing about feeling the energy of it? Because being the energy of it is different from feeling the energy of it.
Yeah.
As soon as you said, I can't feel the energy of it.
It's outside of you.
Is it outside of you? And also you already have the point of view about feeling the energy should be like.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? When you said, I can't feel the energy of it, everywhere that you have conclusion, assumption, projection, and judgment about what feeling the energy should look the certain way, would you like to destroy and uncreate it all, please?
Yes, please.
Right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD, or 9 shorts, boys and beyond. Oh my goodness, you are smiling. So everywhere that you're still thinking that I can't feel the energy, I don't know what that like. As soon as you say to yourself, I can't feel this energy, you can say of the projection, expectation, judgment, conclusion, assumption that the energy should feel the certain way. I'm willing to destroy and uncreate it all now, right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD, all 9 shorts, boys and beyond. Because if you are choosing to be the energy, how can you feel it? You are already being it. So what would it be like if you start being the energy and stop trying to feel the energy? Because the feel energy is outside of you. Being the energy, you are just being it. So would you be willing to be greater than what you have been willing to be before you wrote to us with that question?
Yes.
So everywhere that would not allow you to be willing to be greater than what you have been willing to be before, would you be willing to revoke, recant, rescind, reclaim, renounce, denounce, and destroy and uncreate it all, please?
Yes.
Right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. Would you be willing to be the energy instead of trying to feel the energy?
Yes.
Everywhere that would not allow you to choose to be in that space, would you like to destroy and uncreate it all, please?
Yes, please.
Right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD, all 9 shorts, boys and beyond. Is that starting to see that your business could be more fun?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Can I have a little play with Martine?
Yes.
Martine, is your partner
yes.
there with you?
Sorry?
Is your partner next to
Your
you?
business
Yes.
partner.
Next to me.
Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, because I want to have a conversation with both of you.
About business. So
about business, okay? So, and I'm just going to play with you a little bit because these are the questions I'd like you to ask each other, okay?
Okay.
Just for the fun of it, right? So, are you having difficulties getting clients?
Yes.
Yes.
What if you didn't have any clients? What would that look like? What would need to change? Don't answer me. Just look at what I'm doing, all right? So what if you didn't have clients? What would that look like? So what if the clients were totally different to what we'd already decided they should be? What would that look like? What if our clients went out and got clients for us in ways that we couldn't even consider? What would that look like? What I'm doing is showing what you've already decided is a problem, which is we don't have clients, change the conversation around that. What if we didn't need clients? What if they were different clients? What if the clients came from a different space? What if our clients went out and got us clients? What would need to change for that to occur? And every single one of those questions is another business for you. This is where it gets bloody exciting. Sorry, I shouldn't swear. This is where it gets very exciting, because what you can do is take what you've already decided is a problem and look at it and change it totally. What if, and then ask the opposite. What if we didn't have to have clients? What would that look like? And then just keep asking that question. What if the clients were very different to what we thought clients were? What would that look like? Just change your point of view about it. Now, another one is, do you have the point of view that people don't know about you? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Way to go. I'm hearing from him. That's good.
Secret.
So, question here, and one of the great things is you can take all of these and you can write them down. None of them are wrong. Every time you come up with these, you will make more money, because then if you're willing to change your point of view and you're willing to look at it from a different point of view, you will create different businesses, because you are very good at creating. That's why you've created what you've created now. What you need to build the muscle on is to look at something and ask different questions around it. So our clients don't know that we exist. Okay, so what would need to change so that our clients didn't have to know that we existed? What comes up? And again, you don't need to answer it.
And we will talk about being a choosing one instead of the chosen one in business in the next call.
So you can just look at all the, and please have fun with this, both of you. It's not about trying to do more of the same. Please understand, one of the great sayings in this world is Einstein's definition of insanity, which is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. You're insane. So what needs to change? Not doing more of the same, but what needs to change? That would actually be a lot of fun. So look at these things that you've already decided are a problem, and don't try them turn them into a positive. It's not about turning something into a positive. It's about changing your point of view about what you've already decided is.
What do I need to be and do different here? Can you hear the thing? Besides being, we still have to do something different. So by just sitting there trying to feel the energy, that's not enough if you want to change your business. You have to be the energy, and then you have to be, and what can you do different to change that, and willing to receive, and just do one thing that make you uncomfortable today to create the change.
And
or tomorrow morning when you wake up.
One of the great questions that has made us a lot of money, is, okay, so what if it wasn't this? What would it look like?
Yeah.
And have fun with it, both of you.
Yeah.
Talk to each other about it. Ask each other the question. And please don't judge either of you. Just have fun with it. It doesn't mean you have to do any of this, but one of those things when you're having this conversation will just pop. And you think, oh, geez, never thought of that. I mean, I can think of half a dozen things just from these conversations that you could be and do, but those half dozen things are not your half dozen things.
Hey guys, what would it be like? I'm giving you a challenge here before you even focus on your business. What about putting the energy of having fun?
You know,
bringing more fun, bringing more joy into being together, and create the energy of fun and joy and possibility together, and then put that energy into your business. At the moment you make the business has the power over everything. Being together, having fun together, bringing joy together, and
Martine, he's cute. I mean, enjoy it.
I know.
Absolutely.
How much more fun? So would you be willing to have fun first? Just really bring more joy, because once you feel the fun and the joy, and keep looking at different possibilities and start creating from that space. And when we talk about being a choosing one, we can address this again, you know, about what else can you choose? What else can you be? Because at the moment you're waiting to be a chosen one by your client. When you can step out being the chosen one and choose to be the choosing one, the business will start to change. But between now and the next time we see each other again, choosing to have more joy and fun in your life.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
In all of this, it's the energy. Please don't ask how.
No, it's
Please just tap into, damn it, I'm the choosing one. And once you tap into that energy, your words change. Your emails change. The way you talk to people changes. You don't have to use the language of the choosing one. If you are the energy of it, the language comes.
And be the energy, because Martin, you use the word of not feeling the energy a lot.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to let go of trying to feel the energy, and you being the energy with each other, being the fun, the joy, the possibility? For this week until next week, just choosing to be the joy, the fun, the energy of infinite possibilities, and looking to be, instead of looking for results, looking for what the client can receive, looking for what energy you can change that lock everything up. See what I said, be the energy that you could change, that not feeling the energy that you could change, just be the energy.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
I go for it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. And this is what happens when you write questions. See, whenever you write, we don't judge, because we look at the possibilities it creates for everyone, including whoever wrote the questions. Now, that doesn't mean I want 500 questions.
But you know what? This question, it's so important, Martin, that you wrote in, because we often talk about our business is our life, living is our life. So you have specific business that you're talking about. So it's so tangible to actually use as example. And everything we talk to you too this morning, it can be applied to your life is your business and living is your business.
Anyway, thank you both. That was brilliant.
Next question.
Next question. Okay. Someone has written in, now it is time to create my business the way I truly desire. It is not light for me. Okay, let's talk a little about that. As soon as you start talking about or writing that it's light or not light, or heavy or not heavy, you're using it as a justification for what you've already decided. So these are tools to be, not tools to use to justify what you've already decided is. So I'm trying to be gentle with everyone. However, if I hear someone saying it's light for me, it's telling me that they've already decided they want to do it, so they're going to use something to justify that they're going to do it anyway.
When people use the tools is amazing tools. If you can use the tool from a space of no conclusion, no expectation, no judgment. And so often we hear people and say, oh, it's heavy. Then you thought, okay, they already have a conclusion about what you want to create.
And they're concluding that heavy is wrong.
When they say it's heavy, because that heavy that they get is not fulfilling the conclusion, expectation, judgment that they have that they want to create. And when they say, oh, it's feel light, they're not actually truly ask for awareness of possibility. They are asking that, oh, it feels light because it feels like that I will fulfill my projection, conclusion, expectation, and judgment.
Oops.
So they use that light and heavy as the way to affirm and validate their conclusion. So everywhere that you use light and heavy as a way to affirm and validate your limitation, your conclusion, your finiteness, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it, please? Right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD, or 9 shorts, boys and beyond. Would you be willing to use the tool that for the tool that it truly is? The tools is just so potent and power. But when we drag the tool into affirm and validate our limitation, you destroy the tool. So everywhere that you use the tool to validate your limitation, could you please destroy and uncreate it all, please? right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
Along this same line, now we could not have had this conversation 4 weeks ago, but I think we can now. One of the things as well is whenever you find yourself writing or saying that you have an awareness, it's just a conclusion that you've tried to put into words. When you have an awareness, you have an awareness. You don't need to talk about it, it just is. So whenever someone says, I've had an awareness, I look around to see if it's scurrying off somewhere. Is it under the table? Is it on, where is this awareness that you're talking about? It's not, it's just an awareness. So be aware that when you have an awareness, it's very, very cool because you're more aware. I think I've said enough on that one.
What would it be like if we start living our life, create our business, create our reality from a space of creating for choice, for possibility, and for change, instead of trying to create everything for result? Everywhere that we think that to able to be successful and to create is to create everything for result. Please destroy and uncreate all of that. Right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. What would it be like if you start creating everything for choice, for different choices, for multiple choices that you could create? Steve said he got a good question.
Great question. Monica, this is a great question because I think you're asking the question that everyone else wished they had asked, but they hadn't quite figured out what the question was. And the question is, how do I recognize if during the questions of light or heavy, I am creating conclusions? Fabulous question. And it's probably the question to ask. So this light or heavy, am I in conclusion? If you immediately come with, no, it's not a conclusion, then I guarantee it is.
So if you say, oh, is this light and heavy? And you said, oh, let's say, I want to take on this project that it's going to give me so much money and it's going to do this, and that. And then you said, is this light or heavy? Oh, it's still light. Then you can sit back and say, am I getting the light to validate my limitation and conclusion and expectation and judgment here? Because if you get the light and then you ask yourself, is this the light to prove that it's going to validate everything that I expect it to be? Then go back in and destroy and uncreate all of the point of view, all of everything that you have before you ask light and heavy. Because we do that all the time for ourselves when we get a lot of, before we even go into investing, trading with the stock market, that we ask each other, does it feel light and heavy? And a lot of time it's not the same, a yes for certain things, because it's allowed us to see, okay, what conclusion do we have here about this business? What conclusion do we have here about this share that being presented? So by the two of us asking the question separately, we can see different conclusions I might have, or different
Martine, this is great for
Steve
you guys. The two of you working on this together. Everyone who's got a partner of any sort, whether it be a life partner or a business partner or some partner, or you can be your own partner, that helps. What would that look like? So that was a fantastic question, because being in the question, and it doesn't matter if you've already concluded something, if you recognize it's a conclusion, don't judge, just say, oh, I wonder if that was different.
We also have people we have a lot of people confused about when we say, before you make any choice and things, you can say, am I proving here or am I creating here?
Great conversation.
It's just a simple question. There's no definition. People are trying to define it and
what do you mean by proving?
Make it so like cognitively you have to understand it. It's a simple question. Am I proving here or am I creating here? If you choose to do something and if you're just proving, you're always proving the rightness of your point of view.
Or the wrongness of someone else's.
Whenever you're proving anything, you're trying to prove yourself right or you're trying to prove someone else wrong. There's no creation in that. Anytime that you're trying to prove someone else wrong or prove yourself right, first destroy and uncreate all of that. So that question that we use all the time, Are we proving or are we creating here? Because a lot of time, even when you're proving, it doesn't belong to you. Come back to the basic tools of access. Nothing belong to you. So when you start proving, who does this belong to that I'm proving here? It's simple. Am I proving or am I creating? If am I proving, destroy and uncreate that, and ask again, would this be light? Would this be heavy? Would this create greater possibility for me for now and in the future? Because as long as you're still coming from a space of proving the rightness of my point of view, proving the wrongness of other people's point of view, you are still proving. So it's no creation in that.
And it's a very simple tool. Just tap into the energy of, am I using this to prove or to create? And it doesn't matter what the answer is. Proving is not wrong. It just is. So if you say, am I doing this from the energy of proving or from creating? If you get proving, then you can say, okay, well, what if I created? Or, okay, so I'm using it to prove. How can I prove even more? I mean, it's just an energy.
What if nothing is right and wrong, good and bad? What if every tool is a thing to allow you to be more aware, allow you to create more and generate more from the infinite possibility as an infinite being in your life? But when you start bringing into this finite reality and trying to define it and trying to confine it and trying to understand it, from a simple tool of asking yourself, am I proving or am I creating here? And then you sit there and define proving. What does proving mean? What does creating mean? You already killed the infinite possibilities because it's no definition. You know the energy. Oh yes, I'm proving. And damn it, I like proving. I'm going to prove it in this 10 seconds. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, just be aware of it, that's all.
And but be aware that you prove.
Yeah, and don't tell people about your awareness. Okay, we hope you've enjoyed this, folks, because there's been some fantastic conversation coming out of this. And the tools in here that you've brought up, see, we cannot say these things until you ask us the questions, which is what you've done so brilliantly. And what we encourage you to do over the next week is to just play with some of these. Don't make them significant. Don't go into I need a list of dot points and a PowerPoint presentation on exactly what this looks like. Just have fun with them.
And can we invite people to that? If you haven't seen our website, we actually posting every day a question or the video or something, just as the invitation and inspiration for you to play with. So if you don't like to use the app, you don't have to use the app. You know, the app is just there for people who enjoy connecting, communicating. You really don't have to use the app if you say that app's not for me. That's why we're creating the website, so that you can go in each day to have a look at the question, the video that we posted. So the website, we will send out the link to the website again with the password for you with this video download. So you can actually have a look at it and go and use the website. Because you know that if you don't like the app, you don't have to use the app. We just put each question and thing into the app for people who like to use that. So what else do you need to add about the website?
No, we'll send it all out to you. Have fun with it, and just keep creating. Keep creating. Nothing's a problem. Everything's a possibility, and that's your greatest creation.
And next week, our deep dive session will be on different days because we start traveling around the world again from next Wednesday, which means the Tuesday is going to be the deep dive day session together instead of I'm talking Wednesday our time. Sorry, it's confusing.
So it'll be Monday Europe time. Anyway, we'll send it all out to you.
In the thing, because we are now going on our tour to
coming to you from a different country
Houston,
every week.
San Francisco, Amsterdam, Rome, and now UK. And the thing is, what we are also saying, that if you are in San Francisco and you're not choosing to come to masterclass, we're doing a book launch wonderful Glenna has organized.
Glenna Rice
has organized the book launch for our Prosperity Consciousness book in
Come along.
San Francisco bookshop. I can't remember what it's called now, but it's on our website. So if you're in San Francisco, come along and...
Oh, look, there's Conscious Leadership and Prosperity Consciousness at Andrew.
It's a Prosperity Consciousness book that we're relaunching at the San Francisco bookshop.
Anyway, come along and say hi. There might be some Prosecco there too.
Yes.
See you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye for now.